Hey everyone, welcome to the video. We're going to be taking a look at the MLB slate for today, starting at 1. Now, I usually don't go too heavy for MLB on weekends, especially on Sunday, so I didn't make a cheat sheet for today because I'm really focused on NASCAR, which starts at 3. So if you are going to play NASCAR, I'd recommend checking out yesterday's video. It pretty much tell you everything you need to know for the slate. So again, I didn't make my cheat sheet, so I thought I'd walk us through maybe like a lineup and maybe look at some stats and stuff. Just a little bit of chit chat for the baseball slate. So looking at pitchers, the two guys I'm really looking at is John Gray and Michael Pineda. Now, if you take a look at John Gray, I like to go to plate IQ, like I said. So he's a good strikeout guy. I know he struggles versus lefties. If you want to take a look at this, obviously he has worse splits against lefties, as most right-handers do. But he's still got the K rate, and the Miami offense is really nothing to be scared of. They strike out 27.9% of the time versus right-handed bats. And they only have three lefties in their projected lineup, so there's really nothing to be scared of. He has double-digit K upside, and obviously is better than when he's not in cores, and this is a good pitcher's park, so big fan of John Gray here. It's a low Vegas total. I believe it's 7.5, so definitely interested in him. And then Michael Pineda. It's also really cold in Minnesota, so it's going to be a boost to pitchers as well. And it's only a 7 total, and they're actually slight favorites, so I have no problem going with Michael Pineda. I know he can be pretty wild at times. Plate IQ doesn't even have data for him for some reason, but well, it's because he didn't play last year. But he can strike out batters, but he can get pretty crazy. But the Indians' offense has just been brutal. They let Jake Odorizzi strike them out double-digit times yesterday, so I think it's just fine to attack the Indians' offense right now, and I am a big fan of Michael Pineda, especially at that price point. So let's just throw these guys in the lineup for right now. Then at catcher, well, first of all, if I want to talk about my favorite offense, it's going to be the Blue Jays. It's the highest. They have the highest implied total of this slate, going against a really bad pitcher, in my opinion, most people's opinion, Matt Moore. He's got a 5.23 xFIP. He doesn't have any strikeout rate. And take a look at his splits versus right-handed bats. He does not have one green thing going for him, which green indicates better and red indicates the worst, obviously. But just absolutely gets destroyed by right-handed bats, and we have plenty of those in this Blue Jays lineup. And it's a good hitting environment, so I just think it's okay to load up the top 4, which is what I'm going to do in this lineup. There's just nothing to be scared of. This guy's pretty bad. As you can see, Grichuk is a fantastic play. I know Brandon Drury doesn't have any power numbers, and really overall doesn't have any that good of numbers, but he's going to be in play as well. And this lineup actually isn't correct because they actually do have a confirmed lineup, and Danny Jansen is actually leading off, so it's going to make him one of my favorite plays. Let's see. So, yeah, if you're going to give me a catcher that leads off, and I love this stack, I think he's going to be probably the most popular catcher play, obviously, but kind of a free square for me, especially if you're going to be leading off as a catcher. And at first baseman, I also like Justin Smoke because he's part of that Blue Jays stack. So let's just fill out the Blue Jays stack for right now. Drury, and I like Grichuk. Let's go back to plate IQ again. Okay, so he's going to throw the fastball the majority of the time, and as you can see, all these guys have great numbers versus the left-handed fastball. Grichuk being the best with the ISO, and also I would also don't mind Teoscar Hernandez if you used him. And Jansen obviously isn't the best because most catchers aren't, but he's going to be leading off, so no problem with there. But Grichuk is my favorite play, and Smoke. And then at second base, I really like Whit Merrifield, and at shortstop, I like Mondesi. And I like these guys because they're going against Lucas Giolito, and he cannot hold runners to save his life. As you can see, they have two of the highest speed ratings, along with Billy Hamilton, but he's batting 9th, so he's not on my radar or anything. But yeah, Giolito cannot stop guys from stealing, and Whit Merrifield and Mondesi are some of the best in the league at that. So I have no problem going with a little 1-2 mini stack with the Royals there. As you can see, Giolito's just, he had a horrible year last year, 5.77 xFIP, can't strike people out. Just overall bad. And Mondesi on the bright side is also going to be a switch hitter, so he's going to be hitting from the left side of the plate. And obviously he has worse splits versus lefties, so that's even better for him. But Merrifield's a great play too, because I think these guys could both swipe maybe 2 bags. So 2 of my favorite plays there. And then offense, we're going to have some one-offs here. I like Brett Gardner, just because of the Yankees' high total and he's leading off, so I have no problem using him as a one-off. Really nothing special. Obviously, he's better versus righties. Let's take a look. Oh, this game's going to get delayed too, probably for a couple hours, and it's going to get a late start because there is some rain rolling in now. Obviously, he doesn't have crazy numbers or anything, but no problem leading off. He's obviously going to get pitches to hit, hitting in front of Judge and Stanton and Boyd. So no problem going there. And at the last spot, there's a couple players I really like at the same price. So I'm going to go over 3 of them here. We have Corey Dickerson batting 3rd versus Sonny Gray. I just think it's a great spot for him. Let's take a look. He's really good versus righties. Let's see here. Yeah. So obviously I like Corey Dickerson. He's got a near 200 ISO versus him. I know he's hit 2 home runs off him in his career. I know a lot of people don't like using batter versus pitcher stats, but he does have some decent history versus him, around a 300 average. So, and it's a good ballpark for hitting. Like I said, Corey Dickerson rakes here, and he did hit a home run opening day in Cincinnati as well. And then in the same game, I like Scott Schebler. He is 4,200 on DraftKings, so you can fit him in as well. He's going to be leading off, and since he has one of the highest implied totals, and again, it's a good ballpark. And Trevor Williams is nothing to be scared about, so I wouldn't mind if you use Scott Schebler, especially since he's leading off. You also don't mind Nick Castellanos or Teoscar Hearn. Well, I don't want to go 5 people in the stack. So Nick Castellanos, he actually has more power versus righties. Let's see. Yeah, so he's got a 205 ISO, and if you go to his left-handed stats, it's actually less. So don't mind using him as a cheap outfielder as well. Not really cheap, but he's only 4,100. But I do prefer the other 2 over him. So just for this example, just because it's a little bit safer, we're going to lead off with Schebler. But Corey Dickerson and him are the same. I'd flip-flop those. I don't really wouldn't care who you used. But that's just an example lineup. You guys can make your own decisions and make your own lineups, but those are the guys I was looking through when I was doing my research, and kind of like that lineup, how it went. So anyway, like I said, I did post a NASCAR video yesterday, so if you're going to be playing NASCAR, it starts at 3, and I'd recommend checking that out. It should have all the information you need to know on there. And if you play baseball today, good luck, and see you guys tomorrow.